Today for our shoulder stretchy flow, you're going to want at least one block and a strap or a belt or something of that sort. We'll be using both today. We're going to start today sitting on our knees. For me, I do a lot better if I'm sitting on a block. If I bring it back sort of between my ankles a bit, just giving myself a little bit of height here. So depending on your ankles, your knees, what's comfortable for you, you may want to sit on one or two blocks as well. And then once you're comfortable here, just allow yourself to settle in. Start slowing your breath. You don't have to hold still here. It's okay if your head wants to roll a little bit. Letting yourself settle into your practice today. Relax your jaw, relax your face. And start giving your shoulders some slow rolls. Bring them forward, up towards your ears, pull them back, and then pull them down. The slower the better here. Keep going with that. At your own breathing pace, nice and slow. Find that full motion. Notice the way your shoulder blades are moving here. Reverse the direction. Don't allow yourself to rush here. Really taking your time, feeling that movement in your shoulders. Bringing your fingertips to your shoulders and circle your elbows forward, up and around. Again, pretty slow here. And then reverse your direction. Bring the elbows back and around. One arm at a time, just big circles here. And reverse the direction. And then go ahead and grab onto your strap. If you have a really long strap, let's go ahead and fold it in half. Just bringing that strap right here across your thighs and then holding onto it with your palms facing down. Bringing your hands at least shoulder distance apart, maybe a little bit wider, depending on how tight your shoulders are. And then sit really tall here. Pull your belly button in, your lower ribs in, really strong in the core. We want to avoid falling into a back bend here. Now, on your next inhale, you're just going to lift the strap overhead. And exhale, come back down. And keep going with this. At your own breathing pace. The slower the better. This time at the top of your inhale, with the strap overhead, hold your breath there. And squeeze your hands away from each other, really pulling. And then when you're ready, exhale down, nice and slow. Use your whole breath to get there. Give yourself a couple more of these. Holding the breath at the top, squeezing the hands away from each other. And then exhale down. One more of these. Squeeze. And release. On your next inhale, just lift your chest up a bit. Lift your chin, arch your spine. And exhale, round your spine back a bit, tuck your chin. Just a really gentle sort of cat-cow movement here. A couple more of these at your own breathing pace. And after your next exhale, just find a neutral spine again. Taking hold of the strap again, hands at least shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider. And again on your inhale, draw the strap overhead. Strong core here. Try to avoid falling into a back bend. Keep breathing here. And pull your hands away from each other, really stretching the center of that strap. Now imagining here that the top of your head is the very center of this circle. And we want to make the strap go around the circumference of the circle. Now we want the center of our head to stay in the center. So if you can't come very far back, don't come very far forward. It's a circle, not an oval. Keep pulling the hands away from each other. And switch directions. Breathing, slow breath. And on your next exhale, release the strap back down. This time, unfolding the strap. We're going to bring it really wide. Holding onto it again with our palms facing down. And then bringing the strap overhead. Now this is where we might decide we needed to bring a little bit wider. So we want our arms to stay straight as the strap comes back down. And then coming back the way we came. Now when you get to those sticky spots, where you just feel a little bit stuck, give yourself a little bit of move around there. Just sort of wiggle around in those sore sticky spots and come back around. Now depending on how tight your shoulders are, you might need the strap to be really wide like mine. I have really tight shoulders. So my strap has to be so wide that I even have to kind of duck my head to get under it. And that's okay, that's where I am. And you'll find here that after a couple of passages here, those sticky spots are just a little bit less sticky. It's a bit of a smoother voyage. And the next time you come around to the front, just set the strap aside for a little bit. If you're sitting on a block, let it set it aside as well. And go ahead and make your way to downward facing dog. Go ahead and move around some in your down dog. Let yourself settle into it. Nice slow breath. Pressing down into your hands, pressing down into your feet. And think about the front tops of your thighs, the front top. And press back from there. Feel your spine grow a little bit taller there. Now on your next inhale, just bend your knees. And as you exhale, we're going to wave forward and back to downward facing dog. Inhaling, bending, start the wave and exhale, rise back up and press to down dog. So keep going with this at your own breathing pace. Inhaling on the way down, start your wave, and then about halfway here, start your exhale to come back up and around. After your next exhale, hold your downward facing dog. And bring that right leg to the front, right between the hands. And drop the left knee down. This dog doesn't seem to be going anywhere, does he? You want your front ankle more or less under the front knee. And you want your spine to be really long here. So sometimes some blocks or a couple of books in lieu of blocks can be really helpful because we really want to avoid laying on the thigh. The shoulder blades draw close to each other in the back here, really widening the collarbone. And on our inhale, we're going to pull forward towards the front of the mat. So pull the chest forward. And as you exhale, hips come back. Straighten that front leg towards half split, even if it doesn't straighten all the way. And then inhale forward again. And exhale, come back. Keep going with this at your own breathing pace. Really warming up the legs here. After your next exhale, just go ahead and hold that half split. Keeping the spine long, try to avoid any kind of hunching into this. Now, really pull your hips back towards the wall behind you, as though someone has a hold of your hips and they're pulling them back. It's easier without a dog under your back foot. Now at the same time, as your hips are pulling back, pull your chest forward. Pull it forward towards that front foot. Widen your collarbone again. Squeeze those shoulder blades close to each other in the back. With that front foot, flex it. Pull the pinky toe back towards the knee. And then point that foot. Really reach forward with the toes. Whichever one feels better, hold that one. Whichever one you hate the least today, hold there. And come back forward to your low lunge here. And we're going to switch sides however you like. You can press back up to down dog, or you can just switch them from all fours. Whatever works best for you today. And again, give yourself just that moment here to set up. Blocks can be helpful. Just depends how long your arms are. That front ankle is under the front knee. And really think about pulling long in the spine here. Shoulder blades squeeze in. Try to avoid any sort of hunching here. Nice and long. And on your next inhale, pull the chest forward towards the front of the mat. Really lengthening that back thigh. And as you exhale, hips back, straighten that front leg. And inhale forward, nice and slow. It's okay if that front leg doesn't want to straighten all the way. Really listen to what's happening there in that hamstring. Keep going with this at your own breathing pace. The slower the better. Your inhale is your way forward, and your exhale is your way back. One more here. And after your next exhale, just hold on to that half splits. And same thing here, hips back. Really pull them towards the wall behind you. At the same time, pulling that chest forward. You're really finding yourself stretching in two different directions here. Flex your foot. Pull that pinky toe back towards your knee. And widen your collarbone. Squeeze the shoulder blades closer to each other in the back. Really lengthening in your spine. Then maybe pointing the foot. Reaching out through those toes. Feel that stretch on the top of the foot. Now whichever one you hate the least, stick with that one. Just see where you are today. Both ways are correct. And just bring yourself back forward to low lunge. Step it back to all fours. Excuse me, Johnny. And then find downward facing dog again. Couple of breaths here. Now from here in our down dog, we're going to bend our knees kind of a lot here and really press your chest back towards your thighs. Let your head fall heavy, relax your neck. Really feeling that in your shoulders. Now the important thing for us here is finding the stretch in our shoulders right now. That's what we're working on. If your hamstrings allow, you can start to straighten a little bit here. But for most of us, we're going to find this better with nice bent knees. As we start to straighten our knees here, lifting the chest back out of that deep stretch and look to the front of your mat. And walk, step, jump to the front, however you want to get there. And on your next inhale, come halfway up, really long spine. And as you exhale, fold. Inhale, raise. All the way up, flat back. And exhale, hands down that center line. Bringing the hands behind. Bring the hands right onto your sacrum. Maybe even a little bit lower. More hands on the seat. We don't want to press on our low back. Low backs don't like that. Bring your feet a comfortable distance apart. And then squeeze your shoulder blades together. Like I've put a pencil between your shoulder blades, and I'm asking you to hold it there. Do not drop the pencil. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And just a gentle lifting of the chest here, either looking forward or just slightly up. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Breathe, relax the face. On your next inhale, release. And bring the hands behind your head, interlacing the fingers. And find an equal amount of pressure here. So you're pressing the back of your head with your hands a little bit, and you're also pressing back with your head a little bit. Now step back with your left foot. Careful not to step on any errant dogs. Finding a lunge here. Scooching that back foot back far enough, sorry Johnny, so that you're starting to really feel that stretch in the back of that left thigh. Strong legs here. Pull that right hip back and in a little bit. And straighten that back knee just a little bit so your legs are really strong. Keep that equal pressure with your hands and your head. On your next inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades close together in the back. Your elbows are going to follow a little bit. And as you exhale, the elbows will come forward, but you're leading with the shoulder blades. You're spreading them out farther apart across your back. And then inhale. Squeeze the shoulder blades together slowly. The elbows are just following. Think like the shoulder blades are the engine, the elbows are the caboose. And then as you exhale, spread the shoulder blades apart. Find all sorts of space there between the shoulder blades. Give yourself 2 more. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, hold there, and then start twisting from your torso towards the right, just as far as your body wants to go. Couple breaths. And then come back to the front, step it forward. If your arms are tired, shake them out for a sec. And bring the hands back behind the head. Stepping back with the right this time. Giving yourself that moment to find your lunge. Scooch that foot back far enough. You're starting to feel it here in that thigh. And then don't let that knee be lazy. Think about pressing the back of that thigh up towards the ceiling. I'm pressing a little bit forward with my hands and a little bit back with my head. On my next inhale, I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades close together in the back. And exhale, slowly spreading them apart. The elbows are just following. And inhale, I'm going to start squeezing them together. This action is coming from the shoulder blades. And exhale apart. 2 more of those at your own breathing pace. And then on your next inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades back. Keep breathing. And then twisting from the torso towards the left. So again, the elbows are just following. And then when your body wants to stop here, stop. Couple of breaths. Coming back to the front. Step it forward. Release the arms. And we're going to grab the strap again. Again, if it's a long strap like this one, you can have it folded in half. And let's start by stepping the right leg back and having pyramid legs here. So the back foot is planted down. The toes are pointed more or less to the front right corner of the mat, but it's not an exact science. We want the hips to be neutral here. So think about that left hip pulling back a little bit. Now holding the strap in the right hand, I'm going to drop that strap behind me. That right elbow is straight up. Reaching back with the left hand for that strap. Now this is my broken wing, so I am really far apart here. That shoulder doesn't work for me. Start working your hands just as close together as they'll go, but keep an eye on this left shoulder. You don't want it to start pulling forward on you. You still want to be able to pull the shoulders wide. Keep pulling the hands away from each other here, holding tight on that strap, and then start to hinge forward, keeping your spine really long. Keeping the legs strong, breathe. Couple more breaths. On your next inhale, slowly rise up. We're going to switch sides. The left leg steps back this time. Setting your legs up first, pyramid legs. We want to make sure that that right hip is pulled back and in a bit. Our hips are neutral. Both of our hip bones are still facing forward. Now with the strap in the left hand, we're going to drop it back behind us with that left elbow shooting straight up to the sky. And then we're going to reach back with the right, find that strap, and work the hands close together. Can get a lot closer on this side. But see how my right shoulder is starting to drip forward? That means my hands are too close together. I need to give myself a little bit more space so that I can pull that shoulder back and down. So find that spot for yourself where you're not squeezing that right shoulder forward. Pull the hands away from each other like you're trying to pull that strap apart. And then start hinging forward from the waist, keeping the spine nice and long here. And you'll notice that gravity really starts to take hold here. With every exhale, you'll find yourself falling just a little bit more. On your next inhale, rise up nice and slow. And release that strap, step forward. We're going to take just one block here. Just find the feet a comfortable distance apart, and we're going to bring the block in the right hand, like it is a tray of champagne. And keeping the elbow in close, just start rotating that arm in and out. This is very expensive champagne. You don't want to spill it. The next time your block is out, we're externally rotated. Just pause there. And then let your left ear droop towards the left shoulder. Don't press, just relax it that way. And maybe even finding a bit of a lean here. That's really gonna exaggerate that stretch down the neck and across the back of that shoulder. Find what feels good to you. Let this left arm just relax, let it droop. Use that left hand on the side of the left head. Help the head back up. And we're going to switch sides. Just slowly finding that rotation here in that shoulder. Just sort of see what you have. Keep the rest of the body still. Next time the block is out, away from the body, just hold there and let the right ear just drop towards the right shoulder. Don't press it, just relax it in that direction. Maybe finding a bit of a lean to the right if that feels good. Being really mindful of your body here. If that's too much, then don't lean. Let that left shoulder really relax. Don't fight it. Breathe. Using the right hand on the side of the right head, help the head up. Don't make the neck work too hard there. And then set the block down again. And let's go ahead and sit down and lay back. Bring the knees into the chest. Rock side to side. Stopping in the center here. Bring the arms out to the side, palms facing up. And continue this rocking back and forth. Maybe not all the way to the floor right now. Keep it where you can control it. Stopping before gravity completely takes over. Letting the knees fall all the way to the right. Look to the left. Keeping the arms out to the side. And release them all the way to the left. Look to the right. the shoulder blades towards the ground. Relaxing your face. Back to the center. And extending the legs straight up. Keep the arms out to the side. Flex the feet. If your low back is popping up off the mat, try to really press it down. Hold your core in strong. Pressing down with your back, your shoulders, your hips. Pressing up with your legs and your feet. And then point the toes towards the ceiling. Really extend, reach. And flex them again. Pressing the bottoms of your feet up. And point. And flex. Bending the knees. And finding your Savasana. Maybe bringing the arms a little bit closer. And letting the legs come flat. Or you can have the bottoms of your feet together, knees falling out. You can have one of each. It's really completely up to you here. However you can find complete relaxation. I'm not going to tell you how to Savasana. Relax your fingers and your toes. Relax your face. Maybe giving your shoulders a little bit of wiggle here. They worked really hard today. Do what you need to do to make sure they can relax here. Stay here as long as you like, as long as your life allows. Thank you, thank you. Sharing your space, your breath, your practice. Namaste.